Good evening, everyone. The time is now 6 p.m. and the Spring Lake Board of Commissioners work session is now called to order. I do ask that you silence any cell phones and please keep sidebar conversations to the absolute minimum out of respect of the business of the town. To begin, I would like to invite Reverend Candler to the podium to do our Pledge of Allegiance and invocation. Former Commissioner Lackman, would you like to lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance and invocation? Thank you. Please stand and join us if you choose to.
Good evening. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this night. Thank you for the Board of Commissioners as they do your work, do your bidding for the residents of the town of Spring Lake. Please protect them, guide them to make sound decisions, protect our first responders, the police, and fire department, our military, both home and abroad. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. I'll now call for any additions or deletions to the agenda. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to add a resolution honoring the life and legacy and service of Miss Judy Musgrave.
And we will add that to our consent items. I will now entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Commissioner Cooper?
So moved.
Commissioner Thompson?
I second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. We'll now entertain a motion to approve the consent items, which are the draft minutes of the June 8th regular meeting, Military and Veterans Affairs Advisory Committee application to reappoint Mr. Tim Baker, and the resolution for Ms. Musgrave. Commissioner Thompson?
I make a motion to approve the consent items.
Commissioner Cooper?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll now move on to public comments. And we will begin with Ms. Mary Jackson. Remember that each speaker is limited to 3 minutes. There is a indicator on the screen to let you know of your time, and your topics must be related to Spring Lake, and the board will not reply to comments at this time.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners, and town staff. I am Mary Jackson from Goodyear Drive, Spring Lake. I would like to speak tonight regarding the handling of public records requests and the role of the town clerk in serving the residents of Spring Lake. North Carolina public record law exists for one reason: to ensure transparency and accountability in government. Citizens should be able to request public record and receive it in a timely, professional, and consistent manner. The town clerk plays a critical role in that process as the custodian of many town records. However, transparency must be balanced with responsibility. Residents have a right to expect the public records request. Residents have a right to expect that public record requests will be handled according to established procedures and that confidential information will be protected. Personnel records, sensitive personal information, attorney-client communications, and other legally protected materials should never be disclosed improperly. As taxpayers and citizens, we need confidence that requests are being processed fairly and consistently, regardless of who makes the request. We should not have to wonder whether different standards are being applied to different residents. A transparent government requires not only access to information, but also a clear process that everyone should understand and trust. Therefore, I respectfully ask the board to ensure that there is a written public record policy available to the public, and that all requests are handled through established procedures, and that the town clerk is provided with training, resources, and legal guidance on guidance necessary to perform these duties effectively. The goal is not simply compliance with the law. The goal is to build public trust. When residents know that requests are handled professionally and confidential information is protected, the public records are released appropriately, confident in local government grows. I encourage the board to review its current practice and reaffirm its commitment to transparency, consistency, and accountability to all residents of Spring Lake. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Weir. Next, Ms. Andrika Rhodes. Topic of concern is 24. Okay.
Good evening, Spring Lake. I just wanted to talk about a few things. So I just wanted to say, like, I don't really care whether anyone in this room likes me or not. And for the record, I never thought that any of y'all were not smart or anything like that. So I do have some questions though. Does anyone answer the phones or email? I've made calls that go straight to voicemail, and when I send emails, I rarely get a response. The only one answering my call is Carly, though I will say that. And also said, why are we still dealing with the same issues after 24 years? Like improvements to the streets, infrastructure, drainage, and housing. And another thing, who's paying people to complain at the town meetings? Because I didn't realize speaking at town meetings come with a paycheck. Apparently I've been doing it for free this whole time, and that's crazy work. And so since some people want to be funny, let's make a bet. We can bet that these Spring Lake politicians are going to tell people exactly what they want to hear, and in the end, nothing will get done. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you. We'll now move on to our first presentation, our only presentation of the evening, and this is an update on our water operations. Mr. John Cannon. I can appreciate you. If you look at these men, you can tell that they have been working directly on our infrastructure.
Madam Mayor, Council, thank y'all for letting us come and speak this evening.
Thank you for being here.
Give you a quick update on where we are. I'm gonna let Joe talk before me this time. Well, I guess technically after me this time. And then I'll finish up. He's gonna give you an update on the TW you guys have, and we'll kind of go from there. You're up, Joe.
Yeah, we've got a sheet here, so just a job cost comparison, to let you know on our repairs, not the consulting and everything else that's going on, but just on the major repairs that y'all want to hire out to subcontractors. And you can look through the list and see, and the bold numbers, natural dates, the things got done. At the end, you see in parentheses Superior or Contractor. Superior is us. Contractors and subcontractors that came out and did jobs for y'all. So y'all can come through that and look at the expenses. But as a result, since we signed a contract with y'all in May on April the 20th, our projects have been 58% cheaper than an outside contractor. So we saved y'all money. We've done more jobs. You know, they've done 2 since we've been here, and we've done the rest with y'all's crew, with y'all's people, teaching them, but we've been able to do it for 58% cheaper overall. And then one other thing, when we started, we were informed that the outside contractor had made repairs for 18 months. And the town has spent about $800,000 with that outside contractor or contractors. That's $44,444 a month for 18 months. And we're about half that. Thank you.
My turn, I'll make it quick. I'm glad that we could give y'all that information, but the information that's most important to me is the reason y'all hired us. There has not been one repair or anything that we've done in this town that your employees have not been involved in. When I say involved, I don't mean driving trucks. I mean directly in the ditch, turning wrenches, hands-on, us showing them what we know and teaching them so they'll be a little more efficient when they do things when we're not here. Scope of work that we've done since we've been here, we've replaced water services, repaired water mains. Madam Mayor can attest to that, because one was about 3 doors down from her house. Valve replacements, sewer service repairs, sewer main flushing during sewer overflow. We have coordinated also with contractor on Regina Drive, because there's some projects out there, and we have been installing water taps. I'm very proud of what we've done, and I would like to add this. I think Nicole started this, and Trina had jumped in on it. We were also able to get a student from Federal Tech that came in for 120 hours, Isaiah. That was really cool, and that expands what we do out to a different group of people. So when we are hiring for jobs, they have a little taste of it. So hopefully we'll get some quality folks in when we are hiring. Our workload is increasing. We're finding things that have been overlooked. Just walk by, and we're not walking by them anymore. So at the end of the day, I think we're doing what you hired us for. If y'all have any comments, any questions, we would love to hear them. Any input is positive for us. And that's about all I got. And I do apologize for my dress. I was planning on being a little cleaner than this, but it didn't work out that way.
You have absolutely no reason to apologize, because we know the condition of our infrastructure, our water system, and again, I can attest firsthand. I watched him get inside the ground. He showed me these busted water mains.
That's right.
I mean, they're really out there hands-on, and I genuinely appreciate it.
And one of the last things we're doing, typically when we have water services, and this is in the past, again, it's no kidding to anybody that's here, and not the guys in the department as well, but we've gotten really good at putting Band-Aids on things. And we're trying to instill in those folks, let's just take the problem out. Let's renew it from the main to the service at the house, and that way we don't have to go back there again with another Band-Aid on it whenever it starts leaking.
Absolutely,
Oh, and about hydrant program, we have started doing it, but so many things I don't even know about. And we were in Deerfield first for that, and unfortunately, we're finding a lot of stuff that needs to be replaced and put it on our list.
So what do you think is the most significant area right now?
Not to be too broad, but the Deerfield subdivision, any subdivision that we've seen that is about that age is just aging out. Yours particularly has AC water lines. We were over on Crescent today. They've got some old cast iron water lines. I encourage you, if you haven't been to the manager's office, there's a small piece of water service pipe in there. And that'll give you a good indication what your services look like and what your mains look like that have been cast. Anything that age group is just aged out. I wish there was a quick fix on it, but it's not. That's why anything we're running across, we're preparing at our best, and if it can't be replaced, we're absolutely replacing it.
The pipe on Deerfield, the main, he literally stepped over it and crumbled.
Yes, yeah, that old AC line is not good. You can get that out as quick as possible. Sorry.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Let me thank you all. When we hired y'all, Ms. Dennis, let me thank you as well. And we sat down at the meetings and talked. Let me thank you for your integrity and your experience. You was very upfront with us and your team. I thank you that you're allowing our individuals here that work at the town to get the experience, because they've been under the holes prior for you to getting here.
Yes, ma'am.
So in the savings of $44,000 or more is great information for our taxpayer, our town. So it looks to me that we're going forward, continuing to move the town forward in a positive manner. So again, everybody's involved. I appreciate it. Thank you. And we're gonna have our water system up running. I know it didn't happen overnight, but at least we have experts and professional individuals that know what they're doing, working in this great town of Spring Lake. So again, thank you so very much.
Thank you, ma'am, appreciate it.
Commissioner Jackson.
I want to echo what Mayor Pro Tem said. I am so excited to hear what y'all are doing. I just knew when I first met on y'all that y'all was gonna be on it, and you have been on it. So thank you so much for your experience, for the time that you spend with our employees to get them right, and patience, because I know that can be trying sometimes, but you're doing it. So again, thank you for all that you've done, and Mr. English, thank you as well. Very good job, sir.
Commissioner Cooper.
Well, I get to see the work you're doing. I live on Goodyear, almost ran into one of your little signs.
Yes,
Say, like,
ma'am.
"Local traffic only this morning." So I get to see you all do the work every time I pass through. And I mean, it's amazing what's getting done. It's amazing what's going down in those holes. And we'll be better for it. And we just have to ask that our citizens bear with us, because as we keep saying, this didn't happen overnight, and it's not going to be fixed overnight. So thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I also want to make sure that we thank you publicly for the work that you've done with us on this DSIP grant. Having your specialized knowledge is going to be instrumental in making sure that we submit a full and complete package to secure this funding. So I appreciate your input on that as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thanks y'all so much. I would like to add one more thing.
Sure.
I know this has been something new to the town all the way around. I would like to tell council and Madam Mayor, your people have been amazing. Mr. English for getting us in here. I'm surprised Carly doesn't have the same haircut I do as much as I love her. Jimmy sitting in the back with all the finance stuff. I went to him, Jimmy, I need it right now, I need it right now. They've all been amazing to work with. So yes, grateful all the way around, and thank y'all so much for the kind words. We'll continue to do the best we can.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Y'all have a great evening.
You too. Awesome. Love good news. But don't mistake that for getting comfortable. We are just about to make you extremely uncomfortable, especially if this $20 million come in. Just know that the pain is coming before the healing. And I want to take a point of privilege to acknowledge our State Park Superintendent, Ms. Colleen Bowers, is here with us this evening. So, good evening. It's always good to have her a part of our meetings. We'll now move on to agenda item 8A, adoption of interlocal PWC agreement. Mr. English, and we have met on this, so we may not have a whole lot of discussion. We have been able to talk about this agreement extensively for about maybe a month and a half now. So just a bit of background. Mr. English.
So thank you, Madam Mayor. It's a great opportunity to enter into this public works agreement. As the mayor said, it's been a lot of discussion. I want to bring up Teddy Warner, who's with the Public Works Commission, who actually went above and beyond to help us get this agreement in place. So I just want to say thank you for that. I know you jumped through some hoops. We will get this vote. I know that's what you're waiting on.
It's been a pleasure working with you, Mr. English, and Madam Mayor, of course, it's a pleasure. Staff's been fantastic.
So if you could, Jimmy, if you want to come up, and we may just go through the high-level executive summary of what we're going to be doing as far as getting rid of the tier rates, giving us more capacity, to speak to the board about the high-level agreement.
This new agreement is a 5-year agreement with the option to renew again in 5 years. We have to buy a minimum of 15 million gallons of water each month. That's no problem, because we always buy more than that. The maximum water that we can buy each month is 40 million gallons, okay? We average about 22 to 23 million a month. Previously, if we went over 20 million, we would have to pay an additional fee. Thanks to Teddy, we now can buy up to 28 million without any additional fees. We pay the lowest tier rate. And that rate is higher than last year, but it would have been a much higher if it going up, this is gonna probably, I mean, our water's gonna go up about 170,000 a year, but it would have gone up 270,000 if not for what Teddy and them have worked out for us by getting us, the additional capacity by 28 million a month. That would require a 25% increase in our consumption to hit 28 million over our average. So we should be good for the next several years. If we go over 40 million gallons a month, which we've never done, we will have to pay 2.5 times the rate of $5.59, which would be $13.98. I don't ever see us getting there, because we're not even close to that. If, due to growth over the next 5 years, our average consumption goes from 22 or 23 million up to 28 million, then we will, or greater, then we will have to buy additional capacity. That capacity costs us $3.71 per gallon per day. So that would cost us $371,000 to go from 28 million to 31 million. That probably won't happen, that could happen 4 or 5 years down the road. Don't see that happening anytime soon. If we go over 28 million because of a one-time leak or an emergency, that clause does not apply. This only applies if our normal consumption goes over 28 million. The most we can buy in one day is 2 million gallons. Is there anything I left out?
The only thing to add to that is, not to speak for engineering manager, there's more water than 40 million.
Yeah.
So
You come to the mic a little bit.
sorry about that, Madam Mayor. So the 40 million was the request of the staff to make sure you had enough for future growth. At the time that you need to renew this, we can have these conversations again, and we'll definitely do that with you. So, and Mr. Akerson kind of hit the high points for you, but the one thing just to keep in mind is on July 1st is when the rate would have changed, and that tiered rate would have been applied at that point. And it's roughly $2,200 per million gallons more than what you're paying right now, above the 20 million that you're typically averaging. So what he's alluding to is you're going to be on one rate for all the water you're using on this new agreement, whereas in the past you've done a tiered rate. Not sure why it was done that way. It was done probably 20 years ago. And this is going to fix all of that. And I can't take the credit. This is a team effort. Mr. Hollis, your engineering manager from Water Resources, and many others that have supported me on this. And again, it's been a pleasure working with the staff on this too.
Well, thank you so very, very much. This has been a thorn in our side for quite some time now. So being able to now have a bit of breathing room with these water rates it's been a long time coming. So, and I have heard from staff how hard you've been working on this. And so I want to make sure we recognize you. We thank you for the dedication. Because you didn't have to work that hard, but you did. And I appreciate it very, very much. And I know the residents are going to appreciate it because this is going to save us just a little bit more on our water rates. So again, bear with us. This is not, again, I say the same thing with the infrastructure. These water rates, this is just the beginning. We are just getting started. So we are not in the clear by any means, but we are moving in the right direction. So again, thank you so much. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to offer you a motion that we adopt the FPWC interlock agreement with Fayetteville Public Works Commission.
Commissioner Jackson?
I just want to echo you, Mayor, and
Oh,
say.
we're in the middle of a motion.
Oh, I thought.
You can recognize that during discussion, but Mayor Pro Tem made the motion.
Okay.
So if you want, did you want to go ahead and second the motion?
Yeah, I second the motion.
All right, any discussion?
Now,
Yes, ma'am.
Thank y'all so much. Teddy, thank you. Mr. Overton, thank you. Mr. English, thank you. And the engineer, you sitting in the back, stand up, thank you too.
I like that.
Thank y'all so much. This means we're moving forward. So I really and truly appreciate what you've done, all the hard work, the hanging on in there, and thank y'all so very much.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Of course not. The motion carries. Thank you so, so much. Love it. All right, now we'll move on to the adoption of the Overhills Park Sewer Agreement. Mr. English.
So there has not been any change since the memorandum of understanding. We are waiting for the attorney for Cumberland County to get us an actual agreement. So I spoke with our clerk and we just didn't have time to amend this, but just want to let you know there's been no changes.
And this is coming, you're waiting for Cumberland County's attorney?
The actual agreement.
And they still haven't sent anything back?
We just have the memorandum of understanding.
And we've reached out multiple times?
Yes.
And
So
we haven't heard anything back yet?
I would say we spoke with Glenn and Pat,
Mhm.
and they are in the process of having it to us.
When they say process, can we get a solid date? Because we've been waiting for this for months.
Yes, ma'am.
That's unacceptable. We have to get this agreement done like ASAP.
I'm sorry.
Commissioner Cooper,
Aren't these rates in the budget? I think,
what rates?
the,
You're talking about for Overhills?
yeah.
These are rates that we have to agree on. We have to agree on this rate. This is just for Overhill District.
Mayor Pro Tem? Okay. So we will move on and we will come back to the Overhills Park agreement once we have that. But if we could make sure we reach out to the county and let them know, again, we have to get this now.
And we can help with a special meeting. if we need to.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, we'll now move on to agenda item 9A, our new business, and this is Development DEV 004626, Timothy Dorsum, Planner 2, Cumberland County Inspections. Hi there. And just for the sake of me not having to do this over and over and over again, you can just continue through all 4 phases.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and members of the Board of Commissioners for the Town of Spring Lake. My name is Timothy Dorsum, Planner 2 for the Cumberland County Planning and Inspections Department. As Mayor Anthony said, I'm here to present 3 related cases. The first being DEV 0046-26, 0059, and PLAT-0032 are also related to the same overall developments. So to start with 46, this is a preliminary plat submitted for 2 properties within the town of Spring Lake. The applicant is Perennial Builders. They are the owners on deed for the property. The agents for it are Mr. Sean Pennings, who is in the audience, and Mike Adams, who is the surveyor for the project. The request for this particular item is a preliminary plat approval for a 6-lot residential subdivision. The proposal is existing development along West Manchester Road. There are no new structures or improvements proposed in this, and each structure is proposed to stand on its own lot, meeting all zoning and subdivision provisions. To help you visual, this is an aerial taken from the 2026 County GIS database viewer. This is showing the 2 survey properties outlined in blue. There are 6 total structures. The first 3 up front towards the road are existing single-family residential detached structures. The 3 in the back towards the lower Little River are multifamily buildings. As you can see, the red dots, those are address points. So in the back, we have 2 buildings with 2 addresses signifying their existing duplexes, and the one with 3 address points signifies as an existing triplex building. The overall development with the preliminary plat shown here is approximately 8.11 acres in size. The zoning for both parcels is R15. R15 is a residential district designed primarily for single-family dwelling units with a lot area of 15,000 square feet or above. And even though the definition says single-family, within the use matrix for this town of Spring Lake in section 42-63.3, multifamily dwellings are a permissible use within the district. So,
Within R15?
yes, ma'am. So even though there is existing multifamily, they are permitted use and do not create a zoning nonconformity. Again, the property is existing, no new structures or improvements are established, so no new vertical constructions are proposed at this time. And there are existing utilities for the development with existing Spring Lake water and sewer utilities connected. To give a little bit more, the two lots to the left, lot 1 and 2, are going to have single-family homes with a shared driveway. And then the remaining 4 will all have a joint access easement that provides access from a singular point onto the properties with the utility easement as well to have any maintenance on the private utility lines be by the property owner. And to also ensure that that easement is used, lot 6 on the far upper right and lot 3, the larger one toward the road, will have a no access easement. So they all have to share access. Current planning with the county has performed a consistency review determination of this proposed preliminary plats. The application and the prepared packet that was provided to you all with the transmittal letter and the preliminary plat is found to be consistent with the Spring Lake Code ordinances. And overall, this does include staff's presentation of this preliminary plat, but as I said, Mr. Sean Pennings, the applicant, is in the audience if there are any questions on the specific development or site, if you may have any. And to kind of elaborate on why we are here, within Spring Lake Code Ordinances, Chapter 36-30.c is what gives the Board of Commissioners the authority to approve a preliminary plat. With that, the applicant's request before the Board of Commissioners is to make a motion to approve the application for a preliminary plat. And again, that concludes my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. I do have 2 questions. So if this is approved tonight, will any development that happens on those plots, will they have to go through RULAC?
Yes, there is a condition in the, per Mr. Von Hansen's letter they provided to staff and was provided to the applicant and surveyor. There is a condition that if there is any development, any new structures for residential occupation, it is going to require a form of collaboration with RULAC to address any concerns due to the fact that they are within the APZ1 next to Poker. So there is a condition to address that concern.
And it's also in the 100-year floodway as well.
Yes, none of the structures that are existing are within the floodplain, but there is also a condition per chapter 20 within the Spring Lake Code ordinances dealing with floodplain. There is a condition that if there is any structures that may be proposed within floodplain, they have to meet all provisions within chapter 20 of floodplain management to adhere to any and all permits or other forms of regulations dealing with floodplain and floodplain permitting for structures.
One more question. So who would maintain that easement or that shared access?
It would be the individual property owner that easement will provide into lot 6 to do that work.
Commissioner Jackson, thank you very much.
Is this the same thing we talked about the last meeting?
No, this is new.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments from the board? I'll now entertain a motion to approve DEV 0046-26.
So moved.
Commissioner Jackson?
I second that motion.
Is there any discussion? One moment, before we move on, I would like to hear from the developer, just about the plans that you have coming. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Good.
So do you have any specific development plans for?
Plan is to keep that property as is, get it built up, back to like how it should be. Get decent housing put in there, that kind of thing. And then I'm keeping that for my family as an investment. Retirement plan.
Awesome, that's awesome. Oh, all right. Did anyone else have any questions for us? All right, well, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Good luck with your investment for your family. And we can continue to DEV 0059-26.
So, with DEV-0059-26, this is again related to the same property for a group development site plan. And to kind of give a little backstory, the reason for it is there is no current approved approved group development site plan for a multifamily establishment on that site. So to make sure it's all in conformance and complies with current codes, the applicant has to, at the same time, apply for and be approved for a group development site plan. So that's what this particular case is regarding. So again, for the builders, the owners, Mr. Pennings and Audience as one of the agents. And the site plan is approved for 3, again, existing multifamily residential dwelling units with no new structures. And each structure and lot is to meet all requirements of the development provisions of section 36-71. And with a circle here to kind of help showcase it, these are the 3 existing structures in question on the current development. Within the developments, for the most part, a lot of the provisions are the same, except there are some additional before developments. The first is that because these are still multifamily, to ensure that there's enough access and essentially being able to provide enough parking for any sort of cars and vehicles, a minimum of 2 spaces are provided for each dwelling unit inside. Therefore, for the 2 duplexes, there are a total of 4 parking spaces, and for the triplex, there will be 6 parking spaces. Additionally, there is a requirement of 500 square feet of recreation space per dwelling units. So they are showing 1,000 for each duplex and 1,500 for the triplex. Again, there's no structures or anything proposed, but it is a dedicated space for anything that might come in the future. And once again, these are also served by existing water and sewer lines by the town. Upon performing a consistency review of the group development site plan application and proposal, current planning with the Cumberland County Planning Inspection Department has found that the site plan and the proposal is consistent with these Green Lake Code ordinances. And again, overall, this concludes my portion of the presentation for this development. And if for development purposes there's any questions, Mr. Pennings is also in the office.
I now entertain a motion to approve or deny DEB 0059-26. Commissioner Thompson?
So moved.
Commissioner Cooper?
Second.
Any discussion?
I had something.
Yes, ma'am. Commissioner Jackson?
Just probably a very elementary question, but you were saying that these are the same properties, so the reason why you've got different presentations because each property has to be done separately?
Each application needs to be done separately, ma'am. That's correct.
Thank you, sir.
And just as additional information, there's 15,000 square feet required per dwelling unit, but each new property lot contains enough space to accommodate each multifamily residential building.
Commissioner Cooper?
Yes, thank you. So did you say some of these were originally single family?
The ones at the very front are single family. At the back, those are existing multifamily, with 2 duplexes and rentals.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, and we'll go on to plat 003206.
Thank you. This is the final of the 3 applications for the Romeo Builders development. This is simply the final plat for the preliminary plat that was just approved. The main goal for here is that the final plat is found to be in conformance with the approved preliminary plat, which, as we will be seeing here, it is pretty much the same exact item. The surveyor has listed it as a final plat, though, just to distinguish between the development site plan preliminary plat and the final plat version. And again, overall, it is in conformance. The surveyor has been working with us very well to address concerns from both the fire chief's office with regards to access and providing clearance for any sort of fire apparatuses, as well as providing notes and details regarding the utilities, access, and also there is a note on the plat regarding RULAC's concerns. So as far as staff has found with the proposed final plat, it is in conformance with the approved preliminary plat and is also consistent with the Green Lake Code ordinances. And this concludes the 3rd of staff's presentation for this particular development.
What was RULAC's comment?
RULAC's comment was essentially, because everything is existing, Mr. Hansen said that there's not really anything he can say regarding it, but if there are any proposed new additions, especially homes, because of the proximity to quote airfield and being in the APZ1, which is the accident potential zone 1, a very critical area to be in. If there were any proposed new homes or occupancy, he would like it for the applicant to speak with the RULAC to find ways to mitigate any sort of damages or take into consideration any of RULAC's concerns when proposing certain structures.
I will now entertain a motion to or deny PLAT-0032-26. Commissioner Thompson?
So moved.
Commissioner Cooper?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations, sir. I'm excited for you. That's a huge thing to do for your family, so I commend you for that. That's a big deal.
Thank you all very much. And
Absolutely.
the applicant will have 30 days from your approval to bring in the Mylar for the town's signature and then bring it to borough planning for final.
Awesome. And now we will move on to DEV 003526, Phase 3, Mr. Fagan.
Evening, Mayor and fellows of Chair. Commissioners of the board. Sorry, it's been a long day.
I believe you.
My name is Richard Fagan. I'm here to present case DEV -35-26, which is a preliminary plat submittal for the Elizabeth Street Phase 3 subdivision centrally located within the town of Spring Lake. The applicant is requesting preliminary plat approval for the BOC Board of Commissioners for a 7-lot residential single-family detached subdivision. The applicant is Carl Manning, who is here today, of Kingdom Hospitality, Inc. Pursuant to Section 3630C, the Board of Commissioners shall conduct an evidentiary public hearing and provide a quasi-judicial decision on the preliminary plat to determine if it's compliance with this ordinance, applicable zoning regulations, and officially adopt a comprehensive plan. General site data for the subject property. To the left is a graphic of the site itself, highlighted in yellow and with a red boundary line. The property is undeveloped land. The proposed development is located at the southeast corner of Elizabeth Street and Moorfield Street. Total acreage of the site is 1.50 acres. And the zoning district where the subject property sits within is R6, which is a district designed for a mix of single and multi-family dwellings. This is the proposed preliminary plat submitted by the applicant, which was sent to the town, I believe, mid last week, just here for your reference. The development profile, so some details of the subdivision. The proposed lot total is 7 lots. The minimum required lot size pursuant to the zoning district it sits within is 6,000 square feet. The smallest lot is approximately 6,142 square feet. The largest lot is 10,900 square feet. As previously mentioned, the housing type is residential single-family detached. There are no private or public streets proposed within the subdivision. Access was proposed off of Elizabeth Street and or Warfield Street. Utilities will be served, so the subdivision will be served by the town of Spring Lake Water and Sewer. And the town's fire chief provided comment for the subdivision itself and stated that the plan meets NC Fire Code requirements and had no other comments or objections, as well as the stormwater manager also provided no comments or objections as well. Cumberland County Planning staff has conducted a consistency review determination and found the submitted application and preliminary plat to be consistent with the town of Spring Lake zoning and subdivision ordinances. Based on the presentation and the information provided before the board, the applicant is requesting approval of the proposed preliminary plat. Concludes my presentation. The applicant is here, Mr. Manning. If you have any questions,
Are there sidewalks out there already?
So let me go back here. So when staff did our consistency review, we determined that we thought we'd seen sidewalks. If the town confirms or decides, sidewalks need to be in place, there is a condition, an actual ordinance requirement, just in case. Give me a minute here. So under section 36107, in any subdivision located within the town, sidewalk shall be required on one side of the street, the location to be determined by the administrative officer and building inspector. So if the town was to determine that there were no sidewalks, they can still be installed at a later date.
Mr. Manning, did you know if there were sidewalks out there? Are there sidewalks? Were there sidewalks already out there? Okay. But we're planning to put some in. Okay. Yes, we need to make sure that. Commissioner Hoover? Oh, I'm sorry. Mayor Pro Tem, did you have something? You're like,
I'm gonna make a motion.
Okay, your question first.
So,
Commissioner Hoover?
Thank you, Mayor. On the cover sheet, it says 8 lots. Was there a change of?
That was a typo. It's 7 lots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you for catching
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to offer a motion that we approve DEV 66006626 phase 4 with the deletion of 36-107 for the sidewalks on the third side. I'd like to make a motion that we approve DEV 003526 with the condition of the 36-107.
Commissioner Burgess?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Sorry, Richard.
Okay, sorry. ED 0066-26.
Here, no problem. Is Richard Figg, Planner 2, Criminal County Current Plan Inspections. Here to present case DEV 0066-26, which is a preliminary plat for the Elizabeth Street Phase 4 subdivision. The applicant is requesting a preliminary plat approval before the BOC for a 3-lot residential, single-family detached subdivision. The applicant is also Carl Lanning here today with Kingman Community Development Corporation. Pursuant to section 3630C, Board of Commissioners shall conduct an evidentiary public hearing, provide quasi-judicial decision on the preliminary plat to determine its compliance with this ordinance, applicable zoning regulations, and officially adopted comprehensive plans. So general site data to the left, you can see the subject property highlighted in yellow. The property is undeveloped vacant land, and I do think there was a single-family residential dwelling that was recently demolished, if I remember correctly. The proposed development is located at the southwest corner of Elizabeth Street and John Street. Total acreage of the site is 0.73 acres, and it also sits within the R6 residential zoning district as well. This is the proposed preliminary plat. As you can see, it does have sidewalks on this corner of Elizabeth Street and John Street as well. The development profile, so total of 3 lots, minimum lot size 6,000 square feet as well. Smallest proposed lots 9,436 square feet, with the largest being 12,393 square feet. Type of development is the same as before, residential single family detached. There are no public or private streets proposed. Access will be provided off of John Street and/or Elizabeth Street. It will be served by the Town of Spring Lake's water and sewer utilities. Town Fire Chief did provide comments stating it meets NC Fire Code requirements, and no comments or objections from the Town of Stormwater as well.
I have the same question about the sidewalks.
So Cumberland County Planning staff has conducted consistency review determination and found the submitted application and preliminary plat to be consistent with the Town of Spring Lake zoning and subdivision ordinances. Based on the presentation and the information provided before the board tonight, the applicant is requesting approval of the proposed preliminary plat. Concludes my presentation. Happy to answer any questions, as well as the applicant is here as well.
You said something about the sidewalks for this one, Jim?
Correct, yeah, I can show you.
I'm sorry, I missed it.
No, you're okay. So there are sidewalks shown that go from Elizabeth Street, come around the corner, and down Mills.
Okay.
Excuse me 1 second. No, she is current planning manager.
Hello.
I'm honored to be here before the board. Just for clarification, sidewalks came up, just to kind of help. Typically, when they show the sidewalk on the plans for individual lots, typically they will bond those sidewalks. They do not want, you don't do construction on an individual home while the sidewalks are in place. They come after the fact. So prior to the, after the certificate of occupancy has been issued, then they'll lay in the sidewalk for that individual home. As Richard had mentioned, you also have almost like additional requirements where your building inspector can actually ask for sidewalks when they are applying for, when they go up in the field and they look. So I just wanted to share that.
I appreciate that. That's good information. I've now entertained a motion to approve or deny DEB 006626. Commissioner Thompson?
So moved.
I don't know, Mayor Pro Tem or Commissioner Hooper or Commissioner. Oh, who was first? Mayor Pro Tem? What's your light on? Okay. Commissioner Hooper?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Manning, how many houses have you put out here now? No, please.
First, Mayor, council members, town manager, thank you so very much for working with me and doing what we do for the town of Spring Lake. We've been here for 9 years now. I think for Chapel Hill Road, we have 16 houses over there. The IHOP, right behind the IHOP, there's 9. Elizabeth Street, there is 5 on phase 1, phase 2, 9, phase 3, 7, and phase 4, 3. So I didn't add it up, so and I'm not a mathematician, but I just wanted to just thank you for working with me on this. I'm enjoying myself working in Spring Lake, doing what we do for the community. What I would like to announce, in 1 second, one announcement. August 1st, we're doing PNC Bank as part of the Kingdom CDC to do what they call the PNC Roadshow, where we will have guest speakers, the mayor, and Kurt David, Mitch Goldman there, Kurt David, the county commissioner, board chair. Along with other speakers, we may have Michael Singh, and we may have a couple other speakers there. And they will be there talking about homeownership and what PNC is doing in this community for homeownership and affordable housing. Not just affordable housing, but homeownership as a whole. And I'm sure everyone else is going to be talking about the process of how to come in and purchase a home. But the most important part of that will be PNC will be approving people on the spot for homeownership that they choose to go through that process. So the first, right after the 4th of July, we have already consecrated all of the guest speakers. So we
we already have an agenda, we will be putting this information out. And I would love if you guys could kind of announce it throughout Spring Lake so that people in Spring Lake can understand and know about what we're doing on our continual effort of making affordable housing available for people that can't afford it. Not just rental, but affordable housing, home ownership. That's our option.
Thank you. So,
They're about the sidewalks too. I don't mind putting up sidewalks. I mean, some people hate it, but sidewalks make the community look good.
They
So
say
I'm all
perfect.
for that. So I'm not gonna battle anybody about that.
Appreciate it.
You got, someone that don't mind doing that.
Hang on one second. Commissioner Cooper?
Thank you, Mr. Manager, for the work you're doing in Spring Lake. But I would like to offer, maybe if you could have someone set up, during the first Friday to let people know what's out there, what's available. I think that'd be real helpful for people in the community, because, you know, it's so many ways we can reach people.
True.
So, if you could do that, I think that would be really good.
I'd be more than that. So I have a lot of testimonials, I have a lot of videos. One thing that I don't have, I try to put my drone up to take pictures before Friday say no.
Yeah.
They won't allow me to do that. Every time I try to go up, they say, thank y'all again. I really appreciate it. I love working.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
All right, we will now move on to our agenda item 9F, budget amendment BA25 FY 2026. Mr. Overton?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Budget amendment 25, all we're doing here is just moving money around within the departments. There is no increase in the total budget. There's also no increase or decrease in any one department. We're just moving stuff around among the line items so that we don't have any line items over budget at the end of the year.
Any questions or comments from the board? I'll now entertain a motion to approve budget amendment BA25 FY 2026. Commissioner Cooper?
So moved.
Is there a second? Commissioner Thompson?
I second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll now move on to our next budget amendment, BA 27 FY 2026. Mr. Overton?
Okay.
Mayor? Yes, sir, you missed 26.
Did I miss 20? Oh, okay, okay. We're going to BA, that's not the one we just did? We did 25.
25.
Sorry,
26.
26.
Okay. 26 is very similar to 25. Most of it is just simply moving a little money around within the departments. There is an increase in the total budget of $36,900. That is coming from building permits. Our building permits are substantially over budget due to that big apartment complex. And also, thanks to the gentleman here who builds houses, our building permit revenue has gone up this year. So, which is good news.
That's great
But we're
news.
using that for two main things. For one, we've had some vacation payout. You know, we've had several employees leave. We need to increase our vacation payout and a few other line items. And the other increase is $20,000 to legal fees. That is related to the foreclosure of Spring Lake property acquisition and the fees that we're going to owe to Mr. Hutchins' law firm. The rest of that, again, is pretty much like 25. It's just moving money around within the department, within each department. The total increase is $36,900 and it's paid for with additional permanent revenue.
Mr. Porter?
Has the Hutchins Law Firm billed us?
Some of it. They billed us $8,400 so far. There's another bill that's going to come when they actually, at the time of sale is what they told us.
So this was in consultation with their projector?
Yeah.
Okay.
And just again, just so we hear foreclosure, and it sounds like a big scary word, but in this case, it is great. This is what we have been working towards. This is the end of a $3.5 million deficit that we were facing with some land that we could not we can't do anything with, and once this foreclosure happens, the town will be able to then take ownership of the land, and we can actually do something with it. So this is a really, really, really good thing for the town.
Officially take ownership, or get a lot of money.
There we go. Awesome, so, Mayor Pro Tem?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to offer a motion that we approve budget amendment BA 26 FY 2026.
Is there a second? Commissioner Burgess?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none?
Mr. Overton, I don't know if this is appropriate at this time. I'd be speaking about this during the budget. But moving the monies around, I know it says for the foreclosure and SPA land and vehicle repairs.
Yeah, we had a transmission go bad in one of the cars in the street department, or trucks in the street department last week. And we didn't quite have enough money left in that line item for vehicle maintenance.
And you said it was a total of 36.9?
36.9, yes, ma'am.
Okay, just a question, and it may relate to the budget that we're gonna approve tonight. Individuals that's, employees that's working and they holding a second position until we hire somebody in that position, normally they get extra monies, because they fill in 2 positions at that particular time. Once the individual, employee is hired in that position, the monies is taken back.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We have had, because of some of the vacancies, we have had several employees take on additional responsibilities, and their salary has been increased. When that vacant position is filled, it will go back to whatever their original salary was, plus the cost of living that's in the budget.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'll now entertain a motion to approve BA.
I made the motion.
Oh, you're right, for discussion.
Yes.
All right, all in favor, thank you, ma'am. Any opposed? Motion carries. And now we'll continue on with BA 27.
All right, 27, in last year's original budget, we set aside $143,900 transferred from the sanitation fund into a new fund, the capital reserve fund. That fund didn't exist last year. This is a fund that we set aside money each year and hope to build it up, earn a little interest, and use it for future capital improvements and replacement of equipment, big things like garbage trucks, fire trucks, and those things. We're trying to build up the savings. We budgeted to transfer out, since this fund wasn't set up last year, we're just budgeting to transfer in of 143, plus it's earned $2,900 of interest. We're not spending any of it this year, we're just doing the budget for that transfer, and the interest that is earned is still in the savings. Okay. So there's no expenditure here at all.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Just a question I have, going, I got why. Why was it not set up last year?
There's a new fund, it's a brand new, it was a new fund that we didn't have before.
A new line item, a new fund?
Yes, ma'am.
And what made it be a new fund this time?
This is the first year we've had a capital reserve fund.
Okay.
A capital reserve fund is a fund that you set money aside for future capital improvements, equipment purchases, and you save that money. The town has never had that fund before. This year, we're doing another $140,000 in your upcoming budget, and it's budgeted in both funds going out and the fund coming in. Okay.
Thank you.
Love it, this is great. Commissioner Jackson?
So what you're saying, every year if we do the capital, fund, that if we don't use it, it just grows?
Yes, ma'am. It grows until you buy a new fire truck, and it all goes away. Then it's gone.
Okay. But we're doing the right thing and saving towards it. All right, I'll now entertain a motion to approve BA 27 FY 26. Commissioner Cooper?
So moved.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Second that motion.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, Next budget amendment, BA 28.
Okay. In last year's budget for 20, or this year's budget for 26, because we did not renew the contract with Cumberland County for the Manchester Fire Station, we basically closed that station. And the plan was that we would eventually move the water department out to that location, okay? Of course, that has not happened yet, and now, based on the new contract with Cumberland County that we're still waiting on, we're going to reopen that fire station, okay? We're going to reopen that fire station. They're going to pay us about $700,000, and so we're going to have to reopen it. They already gave us $50,000 to buy the furniture and appliances for that. But one of the things we did in that budget, since we were going to use it for the water department, we budgeted the debt service on the fire station in the water and sewer fund. This budget amendment simply puts that debt back in the general fund, because we're going to use it as a fire station, not as the water department. So if there's no increase in the budget, we're just moving it from the water fund back to the general fund where the fire department is. Okay. The payment is $56,000 each year.
Commissioner Jackson?
I'll make a motion that we approve budget amendment BA 28 FY 2026.
Commissioner Cooper?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, you got somebody.
Now we are on to the item of the evening. The adoption of the Town of Spring Lake budget ordinance for FY, it should say 26-27, not 25-26.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's my fault.
Okay, so that should say 26-27. Adoption of Town of Spring Lake budget ordinance for FY 26-27. Mr. English.
It is my privilege, Madam Mayor and Board of Commissioners, to present to you the 2026-2027 proposed budget. As we have worked tirelessly, we've met several times as a board, staff, to ensure that we have a budget that is, I would say, fiscally responsible. And one of the biggest highlights for me in this budget was the employees' raises. We've had employees that have not had raises in over 3 years, and that was one of my priorities, to ensure that they receive a raise. We've seen a lot of our employees who were below the average. So that was a big part for me, to make sure that we had the cost of living as well in our budget. So you would see that in my message to you all as we move forward tonight. It's important that we highlight that we are still behind in our audits, but we are on track to get our audits in a place where we can say that we are not behind. But we still have a lot of work to do on our annual audits. And so we will continue to work with our auditor on that moving forward. But I'm excited about just the work that we are doing with our water infrastructure. We're going to continue working with our strategic plan, continue to meet with our focus groups, and ensure that going forward, we're looking ahead to a brighter future for Spring Lake. So with that said, I want to go ahead and turn it over to you, Madam Mayor.
Budget ordinance? I don't have it saved on here. I would have to go get it saved. It's in the district.
you like to highlight specifically when you go through particular? Okay. So we have general fund revenues at 5 million.
Do we have that so we can make sure that the residents can see? Can we pull that
You
up?
can pull that up.
We need to pull that up. They need to see where their money's going.
Listen, that I did.
Okay. So we don't have this in our packet?
It should be in the agenda
It's
packet.
in here.
It's towards the back, it looks like.
Yeah, I have it. Miss England, this is not, I got you. We got it. We're gonna let the citizens know, we're gonna, it's right in here. Absolutely. And this is what the document. Don't do that.
You want to go ahead with the?
No, I want to
We're
wait.
waiting on that. No.
What we can do is move on to agenda item 10K, the ordinance number 2026-4, an ordinance declaring the road closure for First Friday. And this is the standard ordinance that we submit to DOT to close Main Street for August, September, October, November for First Friday. It's pretty standard, and we just submit this to DOT, and they'll reply back with the acceptance, but pretty standard, same thing we've been doing every year. Did anyone have any questions about the ordinance? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 2026-04, an ordinance declaring the road closure for First Friday on Main. Commissioner Jackson?
I'll have a discussion.
Okay. Commissioner Cooper?
So moved.
Commissioner Thompson?
I second.
Commissioner, any discussion? Commissioner Jackson?
I do.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that's what, we have decided to do that? I didn't know we had decided to do First Friday. I thought in the meeting we were gonna, everybody was gonna come up with something, or I didn't know it may be, I may have missed it, I'm sorry, but I didn't know we had decided to do First Friday.
I didn't know that we weren't going to do it.
Did I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's budgeted.
And that's the special event.
Yes, ma'am. However, we usually get sponsors to offset most of that cost. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. So now we will go back to agenda item 9J, the adoption of the Town of Spring Lake budget.
And we're printing off the presentation so you can have those as well. We did not have those in the budget, in the package.
It's okay. We know this is your first budget, so we're gonna have some hiccups. Get it through.
Okay, so, Carmen's gonna.
I'll ask her one second. Which button do I hit on her computer to make that go?
Yeah, I think it's.
Arrows of seal.
There you
We're
go.
gonna
Just
test
hit
it.
enter.
There we go.
So our general fund, proposed general fund, for 2027 is 10 million. Sorry. It's 10,245,968. Of course, that's with the current budget, it's 10,782,625. Our capital reserve fund is 144,800, and our water and sewer fund is $5,912,775. And as you can see from the current budget, it actually has coming down. Our stormwater fund is 527,170. And our current budget is 708,000. So if you see the proposed budget there, that has actually come down as well. Our sanitation fund is 900, and $30,468. And the current budget is $1.2 million. Other post-employment benefits, $82,000. And the current budget is $75,000. Spring Lake property acquisition, which we discussed earlier, $790,000. And then the current budget is $500,000. And then the total proposed budget ordinance is $18,633,181. And our current budget is $19,245,341.
Can you touch on why it went down, please?
Well, if you look at which particular, are you just talking
Just
about
a
the general
decrease in the
fund?
budget. I just want to make sure that we're talking about the residents' money, and I want to make sure that we are as clear and transparent as possible so that they understand what we were told as well.
Yeah, I mean, so looking at, we did not raise taxes. We did not do any kind of tax increases. So you're gonna see that drop from there, but we still have a proposed, balanced budget. So our general fund estimated revenues, if you look at the ad valorem property taxes, that is a $5,467,141. That's a percentage of 53.36%. And those other taxes and licenses, $38,100. That's 0.37%. Our North Carolina Department of Revenue, which is our sales tax, franchise tax, beer and wine tax, is $2,585,000, which is a 25.23%. Our permits and fees, which we said has went up, is $147,605, which is 1.44%. Our POW bill, NCDOT, is $445,000, and that's a 4.34%. And Cumberland County Manchester Fire District tax is at $647,000, that's 6.31%. And our interest income is $175,000, 1.71%. And the miscellaneous revenues, $17,122.17%. Our interfund transfers from other funds is $460,000, 4.49%. And our fund balance appropriation is $264,000 at 2.58%. That's a total revenues of $10,245,968.
Commissioner Cooper?
Thank you. Can you go back? Go back. So we are having to pull money from fund balance to balance the budget. Is that what the 264 is for?
You say the 264.
264,000. We have to appropriate 264,000.
Which is 2.9.
Yeah, but I'm just asking, is that why we have to appropriate fund balance to balance the budget?
Right, so 264,000, that's correct.
Okay.
Why are we appropriating
Yeah.
$264,000 in fund balance?
Good evening. The budget includes a $300,000 match for the potential grant that we're gonna get from Piedmont Natural Gas. Okay, if we don't, the 264, we're taking out a savings for that grant match, if we get the grant. If we don't get the grant, we don't have to spend the money, the 300,000, and we won't need the 264, okay? The other reason the budget was down is we bought a lot of equipment this year. Unfortunately, we had to pay cash for it. The street sweeper is due to be delivered tomorrow morning at 8:30. So that's why the stormwater budget is down, 200,000, because that's how much it costs to buy a street sweeper. And some of the other is capital outlay. We bought some garbage truck, so in the sanitation fund, we bought the big garbage truck with the dumpsters last year. That is some of the reason for the decreases. But anyway, all right. You see that property taxes makes up about 53% of our total revenue, with the Department of Revenue sales and franchise tax being our next largest revenue at 25%. Okay? General fund expenditures. General government, that includes governing body, administration, finance, human resources, information technology, is $2 million. Police, fire, and inspections, that's our largest budget item, $6 million. Powell bill, and the streets department is $1 million. Economic development planning is only got 408. That includes the $300,000 match for that grant for Piedmont Natural Gas. $79,000 for Parks and Rec is two things: the $4,000 grant we get every year from the Arts Council to do the murals and whatever other projects we do, plus a $75,000 match for the Cumberland County Parks and Rec is going to do some capital improvements, and they've asked us to put up a $75,000 match for that. So that plus the $4,000 Arts Council is $79,000. Of course, debt service is just our normal debt payment on all of our fire trucks, the fire station, and the police cars. Okay, and then a transfer to other funds, that is a transfer to the employee retiree benefits fund of $79,000. Okay. See, public safety makes up 60% of our total budget. Our next largest is general government, followed by transportation, streets, and power bill. Okay. Property taxes. Tax rate stays the same. Our net property valuation is $749 million. That gives us a levy of $5.5 million at a collection rate of 98%. Our estimated tax revenue is $5,400,000 for the current year. Okay, current levy. 1 penny of tax only raises $73,000. So, all right. The Department of Revenue. This is our electric, franchise tax, telecommunications, video, beer line, total of $553,000. The Department of Revenue also gives us solid waste tax each quarter that goes in the sanitation fund of $9,200. Sales tax. You all know that the county changed the way it allocates the sales tax. Last year, our sales tax revenue was $3.2 million. We had to give $375 back to the county based on the interlocal agreement. That goes away. This year, we get to keep all of our sales tax. The only problem is it's only about 56% of what it used to be. Instead of $3.2 million, we're going to get $1.8 million. So that is a decrease of about $1 million or 43%. Okay. And you see our sales tax, you see how it's gone up each year. The red line is what we receive. The green line is what we got to keep after we reimburse the county. You see in 26, it's way down because both lines are the same because we don't have to refund any to the county. Okay. Power bill, we get $350,000 a year from the Department of Revenue plus $94,000 a year from the city of Fayetteville. They pay us 30% of the streets that they annex from Fort Bragg. Okay. And plus the interest on the power bill funds, we have a total of $490. And we're going to use all of that for engineering and street repairs and sidewalk repairs. Okay. This is a list of all of our debt. Our total debt service payments are $664,000. Our total outstanding debt is $5.1 million. And you see that the maturity date of all those, some of those loans go out to 2047 and 48. So we've got right many years left on some of our large debts. Sanitation, No change in the sanitation fee. It's $396 for each resident times 1,923 residents. Our total revenue, $930,000. Okay, that's about $33 a month for your garbage collection. Sanitation expenditures, $900,000. The biggest expense here being GFL. We budgeted about a 4.7% increase in that contract based on the consumer price index for trash collection. And also the sanitation fund is paying $224,000. Part of that is the $140,000 that's going to the capital reserve fund. The rest is money going to the general fund for administrative expenses. And here's your trash collection contract. See, we're paying about $36.5 per month in this year's budget to GFL to collect trash. Okay. And we pay GFL $13 a month for a 96 rollout gallon card and recycling. And if you just have the rollout card without recycling, it's $10 a month. Here's the street sweeper. It is, like I said, it's going to be delivered tomorrow morning, but that's coming out of the 26 budget. Stormwater, our fees stay the same, $5 per month for residential and $6 per month for each equivalent residential unit for commercial properties. So that's $60 a year or $72 a year. An equivalent residential unit is a house of about 2,300 square feet. So if your church parking lot is 23,000 square feet, you pay 10 times that. Okay. All right, stormwater expenses, again, they're transferred 45 to the general fund for administrative. The biggest expense, of course, here is repairs and maintenance to the stormwater. We do have 2 employees in this fund. One of them is going to be the Public Works Director, which is currently vacant. His salary will be shared between the water and sewer and the stormwater fund. We also have in this fund a maintenance tech whose primary job is going to be to drive our new street sweeper. Both of those positions are currently vacant. Okay?
Do we know the percentage that'll come from each fund to pay for the?
$85,000 from the water and sewer fund, $35,000 from the stormwater fund for the Public Works Director is our current budget. If we can hire somebody for that total. That may not, we may have to increase that a little bit, depending on the qualifications.
Mr. Overton, can I pause you for one moment? I have lights on. Commissioner Jackson, did you have a question that you wanted to ask now, or is it something you can, you go ahead. Commissioner Cooper? Yeah. Thank you.
All right, Spring Lake property acquisitions, we budgeted $790,000. All of that hopefully will come from the sale of the land. Once we get the property foreclosed, get the title in our name, we will offer it for sale. The tax value on that land is $3.5 million. Hopefully we will get at least the $790,000, and anything above that would be the profit. We will use that money to pay back the general fund for the money that was loaned to Spring Lake property acquisitions, and also to pay back the money that we purchased the mortgage note of $450,000 from Truist Bank. Here are your total interfund transfers, $1.4 million. You see the biggest one there, Spring Lake, owes the general fund $763,000. Okay, and the rest of those are expense reimbursements and the retiree health insurance, and then the sanitation fund is putting $140,000 into the capital reserve fund for purchase of future equipment and fire trucks and vehicles and garbage trucks and stuff like that.
That was Spring Lake property acquisitions, not Spring Lake, just for clarification, Spring Lake property acquisitions.
All right. Fayetteville Public Works, we're going to have a 21% increase in our water, cost of water from Fayetteville Public Works Commission. But as Mr. Teddy said, all of our water is going to be at the same rate of $5.59. We will not be paying the increased rates. Had we not worked out this agreement, we would be paying $8.15 for anything over 20 million gallons and $8.38 for anything over 24. Now we pay $5.59 all the way up to 28 million. So our water cost is going to go up about 177,000, but it would have gone up 275,000 had we not had Fayetteville not taken away the tiered rates. What did I do wrong? Okay, and you see our average is about 22 million. And this is the terms of that contract that we went over earlier tonight. Okay, Harnett Regional Water, their rate stays the same at $3.35. We buy about 10 million gallons a month, so we budgeted 406,000 for Harnett, well, 420,000 for Harnett Regional Water. Okay. Water revenues, 5.9 million. There's no increase in the water and sewer rates. We did do a 17% increase last year. They're staying the same this year. Okay. Water expenditures, you see the big $1 million for capital outlay. That is for the repairs and maintenance of water and sewer lines. And also, if we don't spend that, we'll put that money aside, hopefully to pay the debt service when we can borrow some money to do some more repairs. $2 billion to purchase water from Harnett Regional, that's Harnett Regional and Fayetteville PWC combined. Okay, 300,000 transferred to the general fund for administrative expenses and 261 for debt service. Also, in the water and sewer operations, there is 600. We're planning to replace 670 meters at $400 a meter. That would, our goal is to replace at least a tenth every year, and this is about 15% of the meters. Okay. Our asset inventory assessment, $36 million for water improvements. Hopefully this $20 million grant will help us with that if we can get it. We've got $43 million of sewer improvements. These are not in the budget. We just have $1 million for this year, and hopefully we will get a $20 million grant from the Department of Defense. Okay. And if we were to borrow $10 million to pay back a loan, and this is what it would cost us a year to pay it back over 20 years, $500,000 in principal. The first year interest would be $400,000 at 4%. So our total 1 year payment on a $10 million loan would be $900,000. That would require a 15% increase in our water rates just to pay that debt. The problem is we don't need 10 million, we need 80 million. Our water and sewer rates, they stay the same, and this is just what they are, the same this year as last year. Okay. There is one change, the Overhill's rates. Last year, we increased Overhill's rates to our outside customer rates, which was a 300% increase, which the county said they cannot afford. Okay, the memorandum of understanding, these are the terms. For this year, they will pay $9.25 for each household out there, 300 houses every month. They will pay $6.25 per 1,000 gallons. Next year, they will not pay the $9 minimum fee, but all maintenance of those water and sewer lines and pump stations will be the county's responsibility, and they will pay us a bulk rate of $9,000 per 1,000 gallons. So, and the bulk water rate for Overhills is going from $5.08 to $5.60. That is just to cover, rounded to the nearest penny, it costs us to pay the PWC for $5.59. Okay, this is just a schedule of your monthly water bills based on 0 to 10,000 gallons. Average water bill of 5,000 gallons is $128 a month. Okay, and that's really it. The rest, capital outlay, these are the things that are in the budget for capital outlay. We've got $300,000 match for Piedmont Natural Gas. We want to buy a zero-turn mower for the Public Buildings Department. Our other one's old, $75,000 grant match to Cumberland County Park and Rec, replace some stuff at the fire station. We're going to buy several pickup trucks, 6 new police cars, and 1 Ford F-150 for the police department, and replace a Chevy Tahoe in the fire department. It's got 190,000 miles on it. There's money in here to put a new roof on the police and fire station because it's leaking, 90,000, and to replace some pickup trucks in the public buildings department, and two new units. We have already replaced several of the air conditioning units on the top of this building. We just replaced one last week. All right. And these are the big changes from last year's budget. We're getting $600,000 from Cumberland County. That's helping to pay for the reopening the fire station, the cost of living increases. We're adding 3 new firemen. Well, not new firemen, they're 3 frozen firemen. We're discontinuing our dispatch contract with Cumberland County. The 135, that's allowing us to hire 2 additional police officers that were frozen a couple of years ago. Public Works Director, as we said, total salary in the budget is $120,000 shared between the water fund and the stormwater fund. Our cost of state retirement is going up again. That's going to cost us an additional $40,000. Our medical insurance, which was going to go up by 26%, thanks to Mr. Crumpler, he has gotten that down to only a 7% increase instead of 26%. And then cost of living increases, minimum 3.8, and a slightly higher adjustment for those employees that have not had a raise in 3 or 4 years. Okay. Total salaries and budget, $7 million for salaries, benefits, workers' comp, retirement, and health insurance. Okay, and this is the salary for the mayor and board next year. Okay, and that is it. Okay, that is just a summary of our budget, total of $18 million.
Do we have our pay and fee schedule, our rate and fee schedule and the pay classification or chart? Do we have those, can we make those available to the board so they can at least see them before we vote on the budget?
So we need copies. We have the board chart, we make copies. You make copies. The board chart and the fee schedule.
Just for the fee schedule, there's no change in the tax rate, the water and sewer rates, except for the bulk rates for overheals. Those change, but the residential and commercial rates stay the same. The only other change in rates is the new system development fees that you adopted at the last meeting. Everything else is the same as last year. Sanitation, stormwater, property taxes, and water rates. So, overheals and system development are the only changes.
Are there any other questions or comments from the board? I know Commissioner Jackson, you have your light on.
Yes. Mr. Overton, I want to tell you personally, I thank you so much for the work you have done, having the town managers back. His first budget, he did a wonderful, fantastic job. Back to some of the things that he could not answer, meaning he did not know it, he just could not answer, but you stepped right on in. And that what we show is teamwork within this town. As long as we stick together, we can make things happen. So thank you so much for coming to his rescue. And I know he already knows because he done told us this several times. So thank you again, Mr. English, for what you've done. Thank you, Mr. Overton, for having his back. You two work very good together. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
I just want to make one comment. This is the presentation that we gave you last Tuesday. We did make a couple of changes. The only fund that changed in total was the general fund. The budget ordinance that you're approving tonight is actually $10,306,000. That is due to the increase that you approved for the fire, okay? That changed. There's one change in the water and sewer fund, and that is we add 10,000 to repairs and maintenance in the, revenue collections department. That 10,000, 8,000 of it is to fix the drive-through window. But we reduced another expense in that fund, so the total didn't change. But you're actually voting on the general fund, 10,306,000 instead of 10,245,000. Everything else is the same.
Thank you.
So the only thing you need is the board chart. It's scheduled. The rate fee schedule is coming.
Go ahead, Commissioner Fluke.
Is there like the position classification plan?
That's what's coming down.
Oh,
What's required is the org chart, the message from the town manager, the fee schedule, and the pay classification. So you all have those in your budget now.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So we have to put it on the website. Does this meet the requirement for the, citizens to view the information?
And that is an actual requirement. This has to be posted, all of this information as well.
What's the problem?
We can't vote for it if the citizens have not had a chance to do the full budget.
They have the full budget. You only need the
These
org
are
chart.
part of the full
These are part of the
budget.
budget though. And
Some of the grade
general staff-
classification time.
All of
That's
these are part of the budget.
And the citizens have not had a chance to see that. And they're supposed to have how long, Curly?
So it's probably, just whatever we did for the public hearing was posted on the website.
Right.
So,
Which was mainly just the board budget ordinance and some slides provided by Jimmy.
So you're saying that what needs to go to our website is the org chart and these two documents, and then we can pass the budget.
line of statute, the general statute.
When the budget is posted, all of this information has to be made available for public viewing. And this was during when the budget ordinance was first posted, when we had the public hearing on it, all of this information was supposed to be posted together.
So with our reclassifications and a new human resource manager, we have put this together since our last special budget meeting. So that was really why we had to put this together so fast, because we made changes in our budget in the last special meeting that we had, with some reclassification of positions.
Mr. Porter, can you chime in on this, on us being able to?
honestly not on the fly, so I would have to pull it up.
You have to pass the budget tonight, or we can't spend any money next week, period.
Understood on that part, but I want to make sure that we are passing the budget correctly. And making sure that we are following general statute, which mandates what needs to be shared and what goes in the budget and the time limits for residents to view it. I want to make sure that when we do this, it is being done correctly, and that is it. So that means we have to call a special meeting to get the budget passed so that we do it correctly. I would much rather do it that way than have the LGC come in and say, hey, that was done incorrectly. So I would much rather take the time to figure out how we do this before we pass a budget.
So to just be clear, all we're doing is posting these to the website so the public can see.
I want the attorney and our clerk to look through the ordinances to find the exact process to make sure we're not missing any steps tonight. Commissioner Jackson, do you have something?
Yes,
Oh,
I
sorry,
do.
Mayor Pro Tem. She, her light was on first. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem.
As always, policy, general status, and I want to make sure as well. We have set up different meetings. We've had the chief, we've had the finance director, as well as you've been there, Mayor. And we've been there. And to get to this point, to know we need these 3 documents, when we had extensive meetings to make sure that we get in front of the public and we're doing everything that the public needs to know, I just think if that was the case, and we can put this, and they're looking it up, put this on there, but we was all together, but to get to this point to approve the budget, and then it's like, okay, well, you don't have these 3 documents in there. I do believe that the citizens should know everything, but why is it that we were trying to work together as a team, collectively, like Mr. Overton did tonight, that we did not, as well as working with Carly, have this information put in there, and I think that you kind of called it out, as well as Ms. Cooper, that y'all knew about this, but we didn't know about it. But anyway, that's why I said it wasn't a got you thing, but we do want to do it right there. But we'll move forward, and they're gonna look it up. But I'm just saying we had some meetings. Again, that I'll say, and that's why I said, Mr. Town Manager, this wasn't a got you thing, but maybe I was wrong.
You are absolutely right with this is not a got you, because I spoke with Mr. English multiple times several weeks ago, and I gave him this exact list to make sure that these were included in the budget. I actually said that to him in my office before the meeting.
I can stay until y'all find out.
Well, this was not a gotcha. Mr. English has been made aware in ample time that the budget message was needed, the budget ordinance was needed, the fee pay and fee schedule was needed, and the pay classification was needed. I personally made sure that he knew these were a part of the budget, and I made sure again, when I talked to him this afternoon, that's why they were scrambling to try to get these documents. So there was ample time provided so that these could be put in the budget.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the board? Go ahead, Commissioner Jackson.
I want to echo off of Mayor Pro Tem Sutherland. Even though, Mayor, that you may have told Mr. English, it would have been good for the board members to know, since we have to vote on this budget and know what's going on as a new board member now, back then 4 years ago. I would have liked to know that, so we can also reiterate what's going on with the budget, and to be put at the time and point that we're getting ready to approve it, to say it can't be approved because of these documents that some of us didn't know anything about, is kind of crazy to me, with the responsibility of each board member, especially the older board members, should be relaying messages to the newer board members what it's supposed to do, so when we do our job correctly and in decent and in order. So, Mr. English, I personally apologize to you because I did not know that this was supposed to be in there, or I would have reiterated, because you had 5 or 6 bosses on here, so it would have been good to be told 5 or 6 times to make sure this is done, because this is important. As Mr. Overton said, if we can't get it approved, in time, we can't spend no money, so this is crucial. So every information geared toward the budget should have been known before tonight. But I'm all for having a special meeting to approve the budget because, Mayor, like you said, we need to make sure we're doing things, as Mayor Pro Tem has said as well, in decent and in order. So I have no problem with that.
So again, I want to reiterate, Mr. English had ample time, and I told him multiple times that this was a part of the budget. And if there is messages that need to be disseminated about our budget, that comes from our budget officer. He is the manager of the budget. He should have been the one presenting the budget. And we've heard these things over and over and over again. We should be able to hear that from the man that is literally, his signature as well as mine go on this budget. And we, again, I will not apologize because you were told multiple times with ample time to prepare these documents.
And that's, again, the documents that you see in front of you are from the Human Resources Manager. The Human Resources Manager has just started. She recently came on board, and when you gave me the list, we pulled this together, and like you said, at the last minute, because she had to work through the reclassifications at the same time you all approved in your special budget meeting, the actual reclassifications, and this was just last week. So again, she was told by our clerk that she had to have this today. So again, like you said, that misinformation, as she's coming in new, she had these particular items. The other items were complete. So I think that's the issue, is just having this information at the last minute, she not knowing. She found out this morning from our clerk. So again, I just wanted to clarify that.
We are not passing the buck. The buck stops with the manager.
I just wanted to clarify.
The buck stops with the manager. You are the budget officer. That is your responsibility.
I agree.
So we
Let you know
cannot
right
pass
now
that buck.
in terms of that. And also, in addition to that, the presentation of the actual budget, we presented the budget to you on our special meeting. I was informed that tonight you would actually not need an entire presentation. You would only come in and vote on the budget. We presented to the citizens in the previous meeting. So I was not informed that I would go through a full presentation. I just wanted to clarify that as well.
I don't think that.
Wait, one moment, we've got
I'm sorry.
Commissioner Cooper and then Mayor Pro Tem.
And then I'm after her.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
I only caught this because last week I went through, some of my training from, previous classes about budgets and audits. And when I got here today and he said he was putting that together, is when I said to myself, I don't think this passes the requirement for general statutes. So I wasn't trying to do a got you. It's just something that I noticed and realized while sitting here that we have not given the citizens who we work for an opportunity to look over these documents. So that was the only reason why I said that, because that's what came to me.
Mr. Manager, did you have something you'd like to?
Again, these reclassifications, in terms of the citizens having them, was gonna reflect first thing in the morning once we put that on our website. So it wasn't a situation where we were not going to have this information. So again, the reclassification of our positions in our revenue department, that was the biggest part for us to make sure those were documented.
Madam Clerk, Mr. Attorney, do you have any information?
I'm looking to see exactly where it says that, but no, I mean, if I frankly can give it a little heads up and do a little research. I'm not blaming anybody, but I mean, I'm seeing if I can find anything, but, you know. But no, doing it on the fly, it never makes an attorney very comfortable.
Well, what we will do is we will continue on. We do have closed session. When we come out of closed session, we can give you a bit of time to look through this before we go ahead and adopt the budget. Commissioner Jackson? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
You're right.
well, the attorney stated that if you know, because we're trying to work together. That's what we're trying to do. And whoever noticed, whatever noticed, or whatever the case may be, we're never gonna be able to work together, because that's why I said it wasn't a gotcha moment, but it looked like it was again, I say that. But the attorney said he wished he had a heads up, and as well as Carly, clerk, as well as the board, as it was so elegantly stated by Ms. Jackson, then we could all been to let, since we are your boss, to let you know, because I would have never been here going through this. That would have been my common courtesy to let you know, to do what you need to do for the citizens, because that's how I operate. I'm not upset, I'm not angry, I'm not shaking my head at you, because as it looked like we had some situations with the agenda, because sometimes we do make mistakes, but something like this, the attorney should have known. And it's great when you just get here and you just realize it, but if I'd known it a few days ago that you should have known this, attorney, as Mr. English, you wouldn't be here doing this as well as we would. Because we want to always make sure we're being transparent to the citizens. But this should never been this way at this time.
We also want to make sure we take accountability for our own research. We are all up here and we all have a job to do, and we all have to train, and we all have to know our budget. That is our responsibility, is to know what goes in these budgets. It is not, it's not the job or the mayor or any other board member to disseminate any information to you. This is, you were duly elected to be a good steward for the position, and that means taking responsibility to educate yourself on how this process works. And that goes for the manager as well. Commissioner Jackson?
I appreciate your words, Mayor, and you are right. It is our civic duty to do our own research and everything, but just like with anything, sometimes you miss something. With everything that has been going totally on in the town of Spring Lake, it's a lot. But with this budget, it's supposed to be very, very important. So it would have been good to look at our seniority that's on the board to have maybe point that out to us, because we may have missed it. So with accountability said, you said you spoken to the manager and you told him, so you're gonna hold him accountable. But I'm gonna hold the senior members of this board accountable for not letting me, as a new member of this board, to let me know that this was important. It was important for us to know, because as many meetings as we have had on this budget, this part should have came up. Now, I don't know, I could be wrong, but you're saying that the budget shouldn't be passed because of an organizational chart positions, when the main part of the budget is how the money is going to be spent. Everybody knows that. But if this is supposed to be part of it, then by means be part of it. But don't insinuate that because we didn't know about the organizational chart, that we didn't know about the classification, that we was not indeed knowledgeable of what the budget is and the money being spent. So
No, that's not the insinuation by any means. By any means. And so.
I think I have a point. So I think what I'm going to do is, because we can go back and forth with this over and over again. You feel some type of way, we feel some type of way. We're not getting anything done by all of these feeling some type of way. So I'm going to be quiet, and I'm going to let you do what you do so we can move on.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So what we'll do is we will table the budget until after closed session, which will give the attorney and the clerk some time to look over the process to make sure that we are in alignment. Mr. Porter.
Just to be clear, I want to set expectations. This is a big issue. One, in closed session, I'm going to be participating in closed session, so to let you know. So there's only one of me. Two, I'm going to take the time to do a deep dive because this is getting so big. So I'm making no representations that before we get out of this meeting tonight, I'm going to have an answer. I'm just being very clear and honest.
Thank you for your transparency.
Yeah.
Mr. English, did you have something else?
No.
Your light's on. So we will table the budget, and if we need to call a special meeting afterwards, we will, to make sure that we can get this done, and hopefully we can get it done tonight. We'll now move on to agenda item 9L, discussion regarding revised draft policy for key cards or purchasing cards. And I'll go ahead and do the discussion regarding draft policy 19, the code of ethics for board members. So I put these on the agenda simply because we are working through policy updates and have been for the past several years. We have policies and ordinances that are far out of date. I believe these two particular policies are 10 to 15 years old. And there has been a lot of questions here lately regarding purchasing cards. And I wanted to make sure that we have an updated policy because there were so many questions surrounding it. So what I would ask is that we give our consent to staff to go ahead and do some revisions on that purchasing card policy to get it up to date, as well as the code of ethics for board members. And this is just regarding our public conduct, our communications and conducts amongst each other, our communication and conduct with town manager and staff. And again, these policies have not been updated in quite some time. And so we can begin with some low-hanging fruit. I do hope to continue at every work session to have some updated policy brought before us so that we can work to get our policies updated. If there are any that you feel, and I believe it's in the agenda, the list of our outdated policies. And so we can go through those if you want to prioritize which ones you want to do first. But these are policies that all have to be addressed. Mayor Pro Tem?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We've done this in the past, and what we've done is worked as a board when we're going through these policies. We got together and we all spoke on it like we did the budget. So we can go through these individuals, so it's not just presented to us and have enough time to think about what we want to say. So I think you had called at the last budget meeting a retreat. If we can do it prior to then, so we can look at these policies and see what we need to put in place, because my understanding that they had been using the policy from another town, and we should be using our policy from Spring Lake, because each policy is different according to whatever situation we run into. So I would like to kind of go over these.
Absolutely.
Right.
So that's perfect to discuss it. When they say they're using policies from other towns, they're not actually using that exact policy. They use them as references to make sure that what we're creating is in alignment. So they're not like just copy and paste. They do tailor them. Like, for example, the Local Government Commission for our finance policies. They had a bunch of examples for the city of Dogwood, this imaginary city. And what they do is they provide the templates for the policies, and then you take those templates and you customize them. And so when they're using other municipalities, they're using them for reference. And so, and just to kind of expedite the process, having the clerk or staff prepare the policies in advance with us doing our own research as well, and then we come together, we can edit the policy that staff prepares with our notes, updates, input, recommendations. It's just to kind of keep the process going. Okay, Commissioner Jackson, were you finished? Okay. Commissioner Jackson?
I was going to say, we seem to be on the same page. I was going to say that I don't think we need to pass this off to the staff. I think we need to do it ourselves. Since we're responsible for the policies and everything, I think we need to sit down and go over the policy. It may be faster to pass it off to them, but that's not their job. Our job, well, if it is their job and we're responsible for the policy, I'd rather do the policy if I'm going to be a part of the responsibility. I'd rather see what is being done, know what is being done, and not just take somebody's word for it.
Right.
Phrase it like that.
Absolutely.
So I agree that we need to work on the policy ourselves, and maybe during the retreat and go over. So if it takes 2 or 3 months, a little longer than it usually do, then that's what we're here for. We got 4 years, we got plenty of time.
Right, just for clarification, it is staff's job to draft the policies. It is our job to review and approve the policies. We don't draft them, and that's a part of the clerk.
Is that in the statute?
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all need to see that statute.
Okay. Were you finished?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Manager?
Commissioner Jackson, I can tell you that the staff, the new human resource manager, Trina Whitfield, Derek in finance, we've started a committee already just reviewing all of the policies. As you mentioned, the issue that we had, I think you were referring to, was the previous town manager may have pulled some things from South Carolina.
Exactly.
That's a bit of a, issue there when you're looking at other states. That came up. But what we're doing as a staff right now is meeting on I want to say a bi-weekly basis, but I'll verify that. And we are going through each of the policies. So what we're going to do is bring those policies to you all at the given time to keep you abreast as we move forward. But you will have an opportunity to go through each of those policies so that you can make changes and vote on those. So I just wanted to clarify.
Madam Clerk?
Thank you, Mayor. What Dennis is referencing is the personnel policies, not the standalone policies that the board approves. I believe that's where a little confusion is coming in. The policies these policies aren't being reviewed. He's referencing the personnel policy.
So, and that doesn't even come to the board. That's a.
No, it does.
They do.
It does.
The personnel
The
policy
personnel
was
policy,
approved.
not for staff, it's for the whole town, or is it
Yeah,
for?
for staff members. That's the one he's specifically
Okay,
talking about.
that's fine.
They're talking about some different kind of policies.
Right.
So when you say staff for the policy that you're talking about, because I'm confused now.
Right.
What staff member gonna do it?
For the personnel policies, that will go.
No, not the personnel.
I mean, for these P cards and the code of
Yes.
ethics, that will go through our clerk.
Okay. And we will have every opportunity to go live or line work. or
Yes,
work.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We go line by line, and they just give us kind of pretty much the bones, some recommendations, and then we say, we want this, we don't want that, cancel it, do it all over, and we have our opportunity to put all of our input in. Commissioner Cooper?
Thank you, Mayor. P-card policy would go through finance.
Mr. Overton, can you verify that?
Policy is very simple. You misuse credit card, your next paycheck comes from the unemployment office.
Right, now the policy is, Mr. Overton, can you?
We tired too, so.
No, does the policy come through, does finance prepare the policy for P cards is the question.
I would say this, I'm not much on writing policies, because I like the simple. But it was made very clear when we gave those cards back to anybody, that if you misuse the card, you will no longer have a job. And that, the policy, the credit cards, you have to turn in your receipts. If you don't turn in your receipts, we take your credit card away, and we have done that with one employee. They are reconciled each month. The credit cards are paid on time. The receipts are attached to the credit card statement. The credit card statement was reviewed by Evelyn and now by Derek, and then it's reviewed by me before it's paid. So all of the receipts are attached. They're all there. We check the account coding, so the credit cards are used every month. There is a limit on how much you can charge on the credit cards each month. We are doing the things that we need to do to assure that the credit cards are not misused.
I understand all that fully. I just want to make sure that we have this in policy, because there will be a time where Mr. Overton isn't here and we're not sitting on this board, and we need to make sure that we have the structure in place
My
going
recommendation is
forward.
very simple. Plagiarism is a wonderful thing. Copy the policy from the LGC and insert the town of Spring Lake in that policy and adopt it. It's not complicated. You don't need to make this any more complicated than it has to be. The LGC already has a policy manual. Just use it.
Thank you, Mr. Overton.
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead. Commissioner Jackson?
In the policy, does it state who has speed guards and no?
We don't know, that's why we gotta update all of that. And these are things that we can put in that updated policy. If you want to know who is using the key cards, if you want a documentation, these are all things that we need to put in to the policy. Because right now, we know the rules, but the rules aren't written down. And as I've said before, we gotta make sure that we start moving by policy, because that sets the standard for when we're not in these seats, when they're not in those roles. So
what's the rule on the speed guard then?
right now, whatever the outdated policy is, they go by the rules that Mr. Overton just explained, but those aren't explicitly outlined in the policy. And so we'll, again, we can go through and Madam Autry has provided the list of the policies that are outdated that we have to get updated, and these were just the top. So, and again, we can do them 2 at a time. We can, if you guys want to do them during a retreat, or what we did before was we formed a policy committee, and it was just a few board members, and they went through and just read through policies and red line and brought that back, and then we went through whichever policies and updated it that way. So there's all kinds of options if you want to think about that, and then once we get those policies back, we can kind of create the way we want to move. But just think about it, and we can decide that at our next meetings. All right, is there any other questions or comments? All right, let's move on to our updates, and I only have a few. Happy Juneteenth from last week, and happy 4th of July in the next week and a half or so. So it's been a very, 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 very busy weekend with all of the celebrations. I do want to commend the county. This is the first time that we have worked together across municipalities to make sure that every municipality was having a Juneteenth celebration that didn't overlap. It was a time to be had in Hope Mills, in Cumberland, or in Fayetteville, and out here in Spring Lake. So it was just a really, really good Juneteenth, and I am excited and tired. We also have a new driver's license agency, full service driver's license agency on Fort Bragg. There used to be one many, many, many moons ago, and thanks to our current garrison commander, he has worked diligently to bring the service back to soldiers, veterans, and their family members. So this is a huge win for our soldiers, our veterans, and their family members, and DoD civilians. We have also been asked by, and I will forward this email to you all, I just received from our Cumberland County Mayor. They would like support in pushing for a consolidated 911 center. As you guys see, we pulled out of the 911 agreement due to double taxation through the tax that comes from your cell phone, plus the taxes we pay to the county. So we pulled out of the agreement, and how they are encouraging the other municipalities to do the same and then consolidate the services under one umbrella. Right now, they're getting a bit of pushback from City of Fayetteville, but if it is at the discretion of the board, if you guys would like to, I do recommend that we do support the county in this consolidated 911 service center. It is a service that the county provides, and to put it plainly, people really don't care who's controlling the calls. They just want to make sure police, fire, and EMS respond when those calls come in. And so I am in support of the letter to the counties expressing that Spring Lake will back them if it's at the pleasure of the board. So if you have any questions about that, I'm subject to your questions.
Why is the City of Fayetteville not on board?
They run their own 911 operations.
That's where I would like to get more detail before I say or agree to this. I want to know why. Sometimes that why is important.
Understood. And I'll forward you all the background information, but yeah. So we don't really have a dog in that fight. It is a finance issue with the city of Fayetteville and Cumberland County. So we pulled out, and Cumberland County is providing our calls regardless. But it's pretty much a unified effort with all the municipalities to say, hey, let's do this, this is a service that the county provides, let's let the county provide the service. And I'll send you the background information, I'll send it to the board.
If they already do it, then why do we have to agree on it, if they already do it?
It's just a letter of support. Absolutely. Yeah, I just wanted to make you guys aware of the request. I'll send you, I just got the request, so I wanted to make you aware of it. I'll send you the information that I have, and we can come to the determination if we want to provide this letter of support. Again, it's something that I do support, but it's at the pleasure of the board. Again, lunch with the mayor is on the 24th at 12 at Rice Roots and Rolls. And big meeting on Friday. We are meeting with Piedmont Natural Gas to finalize the agreement for the natural gas movement. So I'll have more information after Friday on where we stand with that. I will be out of office from the 9th to the 11th. I received another scholarship from Local Progress to go to their national convening. They are a grassroots organization that really teaches about policy development and those hard-pressed issues that municipalities oftentimes struggle to address. And they really teach you how to get inside the policy to help strengthen the municipality. So I will be attending that from the 9th to the 11th of July in Baltimore. And that's all I have, Mayor Pro Tem.
Madam Mayor. Okay. Chief Charles, how you doing down there? Let me thank you and your officers. I think you stated at one of our budget meetings that you had over 900 calls. The town had over 900 calls. And speaking of 911, with that 900 calls, it is important that when the citizens call, that you respond. So let me thank you and your officers, because that's a lot of calls. And I think you was asked, was it for 1 month? And you stated it was for 1 month. And I see that being a lot of calls. So again, let me thank you all for that in the beginning. Our drive-through window is open. The citizens are very grateful and thankful, and it slowed up some of the traffic in there, out here. As well, I was approached several different times, and I've been hearing this over the years, that the individuals that watches the meeting over YouTube, they say they cannot hear. They say they cannot hear. So whatever we can do to look into that and get it fixed, but please hear me. If you're listening, I did state your request that will town manager look into that to get so they can hear us speak. But they are very interested, even though if they're not here, they are looking at it on the YouTube. As well as, I'm grateful that I've been working on the audit with the town manager, as well as our finance director. And I think we've had the documentation that we're looking for, and we're moving forward. As I stated, when I went off of this board, we was behind in the audit, and I didn't want to come back on the board and still be behind, but we are moving forward on the audit. Again, if this budget is approved, then I know it's going to be approved, because we work very hard on this budget with each department, trying to do what we need to do. And again, Mr. English, okay, we're good. We're going to get through this. We worked, we came, you stayed overnight, and all the other board members came. We worked, we asked questions. And we thought we was at a point where we were going to be able to vote on this tonight. Well, we're going to be able to vote on this tonight, but with this first audit, I am pleased. I'm pleased for our employees getting raises, as well as our water bills did not go up for our citizens, as well as our taxes did not go up for our citizens. So we're going to get this passed. Ms. Jackson, you are in August, you're planning a back to school giveaway, as well as you stated, these children are going to be needing uniforms. Mr. Sutherland and I would like to sponsor some children and give you monies for that to sponsor. I'll be working on behalf of sponsoring some of these children, because I'm thinking you saying that the uniforms are about $50 a piece, could be, but.
For about three.
Well,
You get anywhere between 2 to 3 uniforms.
okay, so I want to let you know that and continue to put this out in the community, because we do have some children gonna need some uniforms, but we will be sponsoring uniforms for the children as well. And I think that's about it. But anyway, thank y'all so very much. Thank y'all for working on the audit. Thank you for being here. And we want to continue to try to work together as a board. We need to try to work together as a board. It's not a power struggle up here. Sometimes it's best to be quiet, and I like to, if I need to let any of you all know, I like to let you all know ahead of time and not get you here and put you on the spot. And that's how Ms. Sutherland will continue to operate. If I have a question, I'll give you a call. I think that was said to me when I got back on the board. Ms. Sutherland, why don't you call them to ask that question? And here we are now, not calling. So I will try to do my best if I have anything that I know prior. But if I don't, then we'll have to deal with it at this board. But again, thank y'all very much for attending. And let's continue to try to work together for the betterment of this great town of Spring Lake.
Commissioner Thompson? The only thing I have is there will be no town cleanup for the 4th of July weekend, so it will resume cleanup, the following, first Saturday in August. That's all I have. Commissioner Jackson?
I want to see if we can get a resource, maybe a manual or some type of thing, because it's been put out in Spring Lake, from what I've got today, that we don't have any resources for people who need food or people who need clothes. We do. There's a lot of organizations here in Spring Lake. There is churches here in Spring Lake that feed every month. They have pantries where you can go into. So I would like for the town of Spring Lake, and I would head it if it's okay, get a resource guide of what we have to offer to our citizens in Spring Lake. And I'd also like to mention again, the back to school event, it is August the 15th. It will only be for the Spring Lake residents. I do a back to school event every year, but this one is personal to me. They closed the school and they forgot about W.T. Brown is a uniform school. So parents are already having a hard time getting supplies. Now they have to get uniforms. So we have 2 campaigns going. One is they closed the schools, but not our hearts. That's for the book bags. I've had very, very good response from Sand Hills Heritage, from Spring Lake Ministerial Alliance, from Burgess Boxing. Lord, forgive me for forgetting y'all, but there have been some huge responses of donations coming in for that. Everybody's getting receipts, everybody's getting what they need. Just now with the generous donation from Mayor Pro Tem, this is about our children, our community. And let me let you know right now, the fight is not over. Because they closed the school, now they got to rebuild this one, and we are on it. We are on it. So Cumberland County Commissioners, if you hear me, if you can hear me, Commissioner Jackson, why you vote Lynn Black for $1, build us a suit. Where your mic?
Commissioner Burgess?
I just want to say, we're moving forward. A lot of people might not think we are, but we are. We're getting grants for warm bureaus. Divided housings are coming down. Code enforcement is coming down on them now. We had a meeting today. They're not gonna like it. The town will. And Chief Jarman, I know you want to say something what y'all got going on. Would you come forward and let the board know what you showed me? Paperwork for what you're doing? What you showed me today?
Oh, the drive?
Yes. Yep.
I think Mr. English was going to talk about that.
It's okay for me to come up.
Thank you, Mr. Burgess. very quickly, another hour is late. One of the things that I recognize as your chief and our department recognizes is that we are having a dramatic uptick in our traffic accidents here in our town. We're having a outcry, if you will, from our residents about the speed limit in today in Spring Lake to address that, and this is going to be a continual thing. It will not be every day, but the thing is our community will not know when we're doing this. Today we had a targeted traffic enforcement operation. Started at 7 o'clock this morning and ended at 5. A few of the staffs from that today, and all this is in an effort to slow our one-way traffic down and reduce those traffic accidents, which also reduces our insurance for all of us at the end of the day. We had 5 officers running radar. We have radar certified officers today. We brought them in overtime because we still have to answer the calls for service when 911 calls us for the general calls. That's the 900 that we talked about last month. But for today, our officers conducted 56 traffic stops. Wrote 40 speeding citations to require them to report to court. The highest speed recorded was 80 miles an hour in our town. Other citations issued by officers were 8 expired registrations, 2 inspection violations, 1 no insurance, a 10th violation, a stoplight violation, unsafe movement violations, driving while license revoked, 3 of those. Resist delay and obstruct. We actually had one lady call her significant other to come pick her up from the traffic stop before she was released, tried to leave, and ended up being arrested. And so the significant other tried to interfere with that. All that to say is that we recognize as the police department that we have some concerns of our citizens. We're aware of that, and we're addressing that. So Mr. English will give us a call tomorrow complaining about traffic citations. But I expect that he will support our efforts to make this a safer community Spring Lake. So any questions about that? So we were running throughout the community from Main Street, Highway 210, 87, Cecil Street, over in the Holly Hills area, and in Deerfield as well. Plus, these officers are also running radar on a regular shift. Today was just a get out there to be seen, let the citizens know. A lot of these, though, are not our citizens. They're people passing through our community causing issues for our community. So we just want to educate them and get their attention. And we started that today.
Carry on. Please do it as much as possible. How much money do we have for overtime pay so we can keep as many officers? No, seriously, I am saying this lightheartedly, but it is a serious problem. The amount of fatalities we have had in this community is unreal.
So we have applied for a grant through the Governor's Highway Safety Program. It's a $10,000 grant to help pay for our overtime that will be in the union budget. If we get that, it becomes a budget amendment. We won't know until October if we get that. But even if we don't, we're out there, we're going to make this happen.
And how many officers do we have left to be radar trained?
My goal is to have at least 1 officer radar trained on every shift at a minimum so that we can conduct these operations on a daily basis and slow our traffic down to protect our community. I would like to get, at the end of the day, I want to have every officer radar certified with the radar in the car. Of course, there's an expense to that. And so we will expand those radar units as we can get them out there in service.
Thank you so much. You guys got one of the toughest jobs, and we genuinely appreciate it. Is there any other questions or comments?
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Burns.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
Appreciate you putting them on the spot. That was great information. Commissioner Cooper?
Thank you, Mayor. I also want to say thank you to all the staff for all the work they do. It is much appreciated. And Jackie, I have some stuff for you because somebody told me you were doing something for back to school. I used to do it, but I ordered some stuff to bring you. So I will get that to you.
I appreciate that.
Because, you know, I love my kids.
Takes a village.
Yes, yes. And I attended, the brunch that the mayor, had yesterday for Juneteenth. And I'll just say, if you weren't there, you missed a great event. We had spoken word, great food from, what is it, Bougie Bites and Boards. Bougie Bites and Boards. And, I mean, people from all over the county were there because this year, you know, the Juneteenth, everybody, all the municipalities work together. And, I received a Community Excellence Award and, as well as Deborah Johnson. Deborah Hudson. Well, I Johnson. Yeah, okay. So, and, it says for steadfast leadership through Spring Lake's hardest chapter. I don't know what that says.
It says for steadfast leadership through Spring Lake's hardest chapter, and its turnaround, and for never being too busy to stop and listen to a neighbor with gratitude of service, the town for the town she serves. Excuse me.
So I want to thank Circa 1865 and the mayor, but I'm telling you, next year, please don't miss the events. The mayor was the title speaker, and she talked about the enslaved cemetery, and many of, I know my relatives are in that cemetery, and probably Commissioner Thompson, but she said their names. It was powerful. And so I just want to thank you for that. I do want to say, I do work full-time as well, but I am happy to share any trainings I take. If they send me the videos, I'm happy to share. So all you have to do is tell me what, and I responded to your email. Just tell me what you're interested in, and I'll forward it to you.
And I do want to, and I wanted to wait till you guys finish.
I am also, did get a scholarship for Local Progress to go to Baltimore July 9th through the 11th as well.
Where's my scholarship? I want to go to Baltimore.
Local Progress is, I'll send you their information. Let's go. It's really good. And I want to also pledge our support from Circa 1865 to make a donation to the Backpacks initiative as well. Mr. English?
So, I won't be long, but thank you, Chief, for that report. And I want to echo Commissioner Burgess and the work we're doing on the code enforcement. Next to our water infrastructure, I've taken many tours around this town, and I just can't sleep at night. This is, I would say, the top priority of mine in this role is going to be nuisance, as well as just overall making sure that we address code enforcement. We're working on bringing you all some new ordinances. The ordinances that we have in place for this town have no teeth. And so with the support, Commissioner Burgess, we will have you all something here, I would say by the next meeting. It's just that much of a priority for me. We are fortunate. We're gonna name another Porter, Tony Porter, an alum of Spring Lake, who's coming back. He was with us many years ago, working in code enforcement. You all know him. He was a police officer as well as code enforcement. We have the best, I would say. We went on a tour today and looked at, I would say, a row of trailers that must go, like yesterday, and y'all know what street I'm talking about. It's like D Street. It's just absolutely not acceptable. And so under my watch as town manager, this is gonna be one of my top priorities, is code enforcement, nuisance, minimal housing, So, yeah, we're on it, as the commissioner said. As far as this big grant, we're excited. We will submit on the 25th.
Yes.
Madam Mayor will have that support letter. Looking forward to that, and get that submitted so we can move forward. With that said, thank you all. Thank you for this opportunity. I do appreciate it.
Mr. Ford?
I have nothing to add, thank you.
Okay, we will now entertain a motion to go into closed session pursuant to NCGS 143-318-11A1, confidentiality. And this is for our closed session minutes, to approve our closed session minutes. And then NCGS 143-318-11A3, attorney-client privilege. Commissioner Cooper?
So moved.
Commissioner Thompson?
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all for coming out tonight. We are now in closed session. I'll let Monica jump back in. I will now entertain a motion to come out of closed session. Action was taken to approve closed session minutes.
No,
Commissioner
Mayor.
Tom.
Mayor, no, we decided to hold off.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's right, we did. Sorry. On the closed session meeting. Sorry, no action was taken. Mayor Pro Tem. I don't know. Motion to come out of closed session.
Motion to come out of closed session.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All right, we are now out of closed session and we will move back to agenda item.
9J.
9J. We were informed by our attorney and our finance officer that it is absolutely okay to approve our budget tonight without having listed the org chart. And the fee schedule was already listed.
If you want me to
as
talk
well.
about it a little bit?
Yes.
And then Mr. Overton can explain, if y'all have any questions, exactly where that information was. So the question was, because the proposed budget ordinance that was posted along with this agenda and provided on June 1st to the board and to the public, because it didn't have three things, organizational chart, a more detailed breakdown of the fee schedule, and a detailed salary amount by each position. Yeah, and the budget message. So while I was up here, and Mr. Overton, I think, was doing his own research back there too, we were both doing it. But long story short, the budget message, the statute mentions it, but I think that's more aspirational. Like, there's nothing in that that controls the numbers. That's just literally, I think, it's trying to encourage good communication between the town manager in this case, or whoever the finance director is, however the town's organized, and the board. But then the fee schedule, maybe not in that format, but was listed, and Mr. Overton actually talked about it, because the reason that's important is the budget ordinance does have to have your projected revenues, which is one of the ways you project revenues is by knowing your fees. But that was presented. The other thing was the salary by position for each literal position. There's nothing in the statutory scheme that I can see that requires that. It just says you have to have it, by basically department and line item, which Mr. Overton and Mr. English did have in the ordinance. And the organizational chart is certainly nice. They're helpful for attorneys, but there's nothing that requires that. Now, by statute. Now, y'all as a board can make whatever additional requirements beyond the statute that you want. I have not had a chance to look at whatever our town policy is or our ordinances as far as what y'all expect in an ordinance presentation, but it did meet statutory minimums. Mr. Overton, do you agree with that analysis?
Yes. Those other things that were not in there, they can be posted on the website tomorrow. The public will have a full week to look at them. But the fee schedule that affects the citizens, the water rates, the stormwater rates, the property tax rate, and the garbage rates were all in the budget worksheets. They were all in the ordinance. They were there. There's a fee schedule tab in the budget worksheet that's been posted since July 1. And all the other fees, like building inspections and police, in fact, none of those changed. That fee schedule from last year has been on the website all year long. So, and there's the only fees that changed are the system development fees that you adopted last meeting, and the overheals, which only affects Mr. Wellens and Cumberland County, doesn't affect any of the other citizens.
And if we don't pass it, we're gonna either have to do a special meeting or an interim budget, which is fine.
So, I will now entertain a motion to adopt the Town of Spring Lake budget ordinance. I love every light is on. To adopt the budget ordinance for FY 2025, 2026, 2027. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Madam Mayor, I'd like to offer you a motion that we'll adopt the budget, TOSL budget ordinance for 2026 and 2027.
Commissioner Thompson?
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The budget has passed.
Aye.
Wait a minute.
I said aye.
To the pass.
Yeah, I forgot.
Make sure we make it clear. All right, the budget passed unanimously. And that is all.